Morning, Lisa. How are you?
I'm terrific. How are you?
Excellent. Doing excellent by choice. Every day is a good day by choice. I know you. If all people would agree with that statement, I'm sure you would agree with that,
I sure do.
right? So
Yes.
I'm glad you. Thanks for taking the time to jump on this podcast. I really appreciate it. Before I get started, I got to tell people if they haven't been to your page yet, they have to go to your page because not only is your page full of great quotes, but when I go to your page, I'm literally I have a feeling. Presents this feeling to me. I'm gonna go there. I'm gonna go back there right now. I mean, you have all these quotes, but
Hmm.
the way you present them, they literally give off an energy. Tell me about how did you do that, and why are they doing that? Am I
Um,
right?
yes, yes. So pretty much everything that I try to do in my everyday life as well as my business life is I'm trying to create a specific, energy that brings people up, that makes them feel good, that gives them hope. Um, and that's pretty much my message for people because what I do is help people live a much healthier, happier, mentally healthy life. So, my posts and stuff are created with intention. So, I'm a deliberate creator.
No, you're no kidding. Tell them right now where they can find you.
So I'm on all social media. I'm on Facebook. Um, under the Complete Healing Transformation. I'm on TikTok. My business name was a bit long for TikTok, so it's the Complete Healing Angel. I'm also on Instagram, but I don't really use it as much. So primarily Facebook and TikTok are my main um, sites, as well as my booking site
Okay, I'm
for
gonna.
sessions.
Okay, so they can go right. So they can book you on TikTok and Facebook. Obviously Facebook, right? Yeah, but TikTok too.
Well, they can find my booking link on TikTok and
Okay.
also on Facebook. Yes. So my booking link is on there, and people can just go right to my booking page and book with me right there. Or they can contact me directly and we can do it through PayPal. There's multiple different ways. They just have to get in touch with me.
Okay, and then before we jump into exactly what you're doing, I'm going to bring up two quotes. They're all really good, but here's my favorite. You are powerful. Own it. People don't need to be saved or rescued. People need knowledge of their own power and how to access it. Right? I love
That's
that.
correct.
Then this one
Yes.
here. Love who you are. Your discipline isn't about impressing others. It's about creating a version of yourself that even you admire. Love it.
Yes, me too.
Strong. Did you are these can you take credit for all those? You came up with all of them?
No, I mean, I take quotes that I find here and there and I'll reuse them because I feel like people put them out in the first place to try and raise awareness. So,
Right.
they're meant to be shared. And so if I see something that's amazing, I'll share it as well. I do have my own quotes, but I usually say them to people, when I'm working with them and teaching them, why the outcome of negativity has been a thing in their life in the past and possibly present and how we're trying to change it for them. So that is part of what I do on a daily.
Okay. And then do you have your go-tos, your favorite top 5 that you would actually use on most people? Is that fair to say?
Um, it depends on the person, to be honest with you. Everybody is going through their own internal traumas, and that has to do with things they've gone through in their lives. So most of the time what I tell people has to do more with what they're going through personally. So it's not necessarily that I have a top 5 so
Mhm.
much as I tell people things that pertains more to them.
That's great. You specify specific to their situation.
Yeah,
Great.
exactly, such
Right.
as hurt people, which is a huge one.
Huge. Tell
Yeah.
people what you do. Tell everybody what you do. Tell everybody what you do, Lisa.
Okay, so I'm a certified level 3 certified energy healer, and I've been doing this work for 7 years now. I actually am certified through Dr. Bradley Nelson through Discover Healing, which you can find online if you're looking. And he offers certifications in emotion code, body code, and belief code. So I use those primarily because I have tried other energy healing modalities, and the emotion code, body code, and belief code have been the ones that have come through every single time. They are amazing, life-changing modalities. And when people discover what's possible with them, they can really transform the things in their lives that they don't prefer.
Body code, emotion code, and belief code.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Okay, give us a little breakdown of each and how they're different, how each of those are different, and how you apply them to people.
Okay, sure. So it does start with emotion code. So emotion code basically deals primarily with the trauma that people have experienced in their lifetime. And it could be past lifetime, it could be current lifetime, it could be any time from the time you were conceived all the way up until now, presently. And emotion code basically deals with there's 60 trapped emotions on the emotion code list, and you use muscle testing when you're connecting to your client. Once you make a connection to them from a distance, you can actually address topics that are that they're dealing with, that they need corrected. And it starts always with the emotions. So basically what you're doing is you're starting with emotion code and removing all of the trapped emotions that are lingering in the body, trapped like in the cells and the tissues, and it distorts them. And then that's when, after you remove all of the trapped emotions for any specific topic, then you move on to the body code. Now, the body code, luckily for me, was easy for me because I am also a registered medical assistant in Western medicine. I just don't practice in Western medicine anymore because Eastern medicine has pretty much taken over my life.
Sure.
But in the meantime, so body code primarily gets into your body systems, your cells, your tissues, your muscles, everything in the body, your body systems, your organs, your energy body. It gets into a lot. And so what happens is, after someone has trapped emotions in their body for a long time, as I said, they're distorting your cells and your tissues and your organs and causing problems. So after a long time, you develop what they all say as disease, which I call dis-ease in the body. Yeah, yeah. So you start, presenting with side effects or symptoms, same thing. And that causes physical problems and ailments in the body. So you start with emotion code, then you move into body code, and you start removing the things that are attached to whatever topic you're dealing with in the body code. So after you complete both of those two, then you would go to the belief code, because after all, your beliefs are creating everything in this world.
True.
So if you have beliefs that are creating illness because of trapped emotions, you see where I'm going with this.
Yeah.
So in the belief code, there's 1,000 different beliefs that they have provided to the practitioners. And once again, the subconscious mind of the person that you're connected to is going to lead you right to whichever belief or belief structures, multiple beliefs, are causing a problem for you in the area that you're dealing with. And then you remove those beliefs, you release them from the client, and they can put their own beliefs in. A lot of times I tell people to say the belief 3 times or write affirmations, something of that nature.
So how long have you been doing this?
7 years.
Okay, 7 years. How many clients would you say you have actually worked on?
Oh my. Oh wow. Thousands.
Wow.
I initially I started on Facebook, and then I moved over to Etsy.
Yeah.
And on Etsy, there's a lot of people that are familiar with energy work. So they look for energy practitioners. And so I had a lot of people from all different countries all over the world that I worked on Etsy. So primarily, I got a ton of them right from that platform. So, yeah. Plus, a lot of people that I've known over the years, even people that I've seen like on Facebook from school and everything, after years
Right.
of seeing what I do, they start to reach out too. And, they want to know, what is it that you do exactly? And is there any way that you can help me? And, it's a lot of curiosity. And, people are just now, I think, looking for alternative ways of healing.
Lisa, and when they come to you, these people come to you, is there a common thread? Like out of 1,000 people you have worked on,
Mm-hmm.
there's a commonality, there's a similarity, and I'm not going to say everybody's the same, everybody's different. What's the common thread that they're coming to you for? And two-part question. And when they come to you, are they like, what is this? I'm not sure if it's going to work. It's kind of woo-woo. And if they're thinking that going into it, is it going to fuck everything up where they're not going to get any results at all from what you're doing?
Actually, it doesn't matter if they believe in it or not. Energy work is
Wow.
exactly what it is. You're
Really?
basically just removing energies that are causing problems in the body. And so basically, a lot of people are coming to me for mental health issues.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. So people will come to me initially with, either depression or anxiety or a combination of the married couple. I like to
Yeah.
say they're like a married couple that kind of go hand in hand.
Right. Chips and dip.
But yeah, they'll come to me and be like, this happened to me or that happened to me, or I got a divorce or I lost my job, and I fell into like a rut and I was very depressed, and I have anxiety about starting over. And what I do is I just start tearing down those walls with
Yeah.
the energy that's causing problems and moving it out of the way so that they can be whole and complete again the way they were intended to be.
All right. Now that you tell people what you're doing,
Mm-hmm.
and we want to know what's the backstory. Why this? What got you? Because here's usually, and we like my situation. It took a tragedy for me to actually be doing this now. Why wasn't I doing this before? Because I wasn't connected to it. Now I'm out there with a mission to break the stigma, support the cause. I lived it. I lived the suicidal depression. I get that. So
Yeah.
what's your story? Why are you here doing this?
Well, okay. So going back to when I was a child, I had a rough upbringing with my mom, who also had her own mental health stuff going on. Um, but I always remained pretty positive. Even when life got me down, I remained pretty positive. At one point, I was a manager for a corporation called Wawa. It's like a convenience store with a gas station, and it's a huge uh, market where I live, which is the East Coast of. They're all over the East Coast, so from Florida all the way up to, I think, Connecticut. Not really sure, but I worked for them as a manager, and my upper management team, there were two females that were not. They were not good people. I hate to say that they were not good people, but they did not treat people fairly or with respect. They kind of abused their power a little bit, and they were doing that with me as a lower manager than them. They were treating me terribly, and it got to a point where I was just so fed up with life that I actually got to a suicidal point, and I didn't know what to do. I'm a single mother of one daughter, and I knew that I had to be there for her. So I started looking into ways to change the way that I think, because I already knew about The Secret, aka the law of attraction. I
Right.
had learned about that years before, but I never knew how to make it work. And everything that I tried wasn't really producing the outcome that I was looking for, so
All
to
right, I'm going to
speak.
stop you right there because this is a bit by bit piece here. So here
Yeah.
you are being literally bullied by two females,
Yes.
adults. Okay, adults. Now,
Adults. Imagine that.
right. So at this point, it's really weighing heavy on you.
Yeah.
It's to the point where you actually became suicidal because of two people who were out of alignment.
Yes.
It was that bad. There's somebody listening right now to this saying, I'm in a similar situation,
Hmm.
and I don't know if I'm going to get through this. It's pretty bad. They're feeling what you felt.
Yeah.
So now they need to hear from you at this point in the interview is that why did you pursue something better rather than getting caught up in it and allowing it to continue fucking with you to the point where you did take yourself out? This is what this show is all about right here.
Yeah.
Why were you bold enough to take the next step to persevere and overcome it rather than let it or allow it to kick your ass?
I'm going to be honest with you.
That's why you're here.
Yeah, I followed my heart. I just couldn't be down like that. I could not let life beat me. I felt like I had to beat life, if that makes any sense.
Mhm.
You know, I felt like I had to take it and grab the reins and say, I'm in control of how I feel. I'm in control of how I think. And I know that I have the ability inside of me to change this. And so I started looking for tools that would assist me in changing it. And I mean, in the beginning, I was looking for anything I could find, honestly. So I started looking for hypnosis that I could listen to while I was sleeping. I was listening to powerful entrepreneurs that give speeches about, you know, growing and being the best version of yourself and the mindset you need to have. And I mean, I really saturated and I went overboard. I'm kind of a
Of
go
course you
all or
did.
go home
Yeah,
type
all or nothing.
person.
You were all in, right? So
Yeah, exactly.
I just put up a post today, 10 minutes, 15, 20 minutes ago, whatever it was, that
Yeah.
says it's so much easier to complain about it than actually do something about it. Complain or do, right? So you took you were proactive, took the bull by the balls. You said, I'm going to get out there and change. Here you are working at Wawa convenience store. You're not, it wasn't like you were deep in this, in an area where this type of mindset was prevalent, right? I mean,
Right.
did you study did you study personal development your entire life, or were you at a point where you just reached out and knew you needed something different than you have been getting?
I wouldn't say that I studied it my whole life, although it was kind of a theme that kept showing up for me. And to me, that's just part of my blueprint. That's, you know, what I was intended to find. And I mean, everyone's is different. So you can't really base one person's outcome on someone else's, but you can take hope from it. You can say, if they can do it, I can do it. And there's
Right.
nothing different about them than me, you know, and you can really just change your mindset yourself initially and look for other things to support that.
People need to hear this because there's like I said, there's people out there right now listening to this that similar situation. They don't know what to do. They heard you say that. You just gave them a spark of hope. They're going to reach out to you to help them continue this journey. That's what's going to happen here. That's what this platform is all about. People helping people. You know, and it's going to keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger. That's what I'm going to grow this to the point where we become like a community of people helping each other, because right now everybody needs help. My thing is this: how long are you going to complain about it, marinate in that situation, allow it to kick your ass? When you're going to finally say enough is enough, I need to be proactive. And the problem, I think, is we get so comfortable and so content in the discontentment, we really kind of lose ourselves in that process. Speaking from experience, I'm not pointing fingers. If I point fingers, I got three pointing back at me. Everything I share with you, I've been in the situation. So I understand what you're saying. Right. So they need to hear it from somebody like yourself. Oh, she's speaking my language. I'm going to reach out to Lisa, and now we're going to start this process to start moving forward rather than staying stuck in where you're at.
Right. That's the best thing that you can do. You have to take action. It's uncomfortable, but guess what? I'm at a point now where comfort is my life. Comfort, and as far as change, because I love change and change is comfortable to me. It takes a while to get there. Now, I'm not going to say it's easy, but it's so worth it. Every second that you pour into yourself to thinking better, feeling better, doing better, being better is going to improve the way you feel when you wake up every single day.
Were there any beliefs you had to let go of in order for you to make this shift? Because so many times we hold on to these beliefs and about who we think we are, our perspective. You have to have a change in attitude, a change, a mental adjustment, mental over, whatever you want to call it. What was that for you?
There was a few things. First of all, the fact that I'm limited in any way, that had to change, definitely. There were some other things such as, fear of doing new things or fear of going out on my own and creating a business where I had never done that before. Um, and these are all beliefs that I had to change within myself. As far as, being able to help people everywhere in the world and being confident in being able to do that, those were beliefs I also had to work on.
And it's a process.
It is.
It's not easy. It's a process.
I'm
And
growing when I'm helping people. So,
100%. Right, right. And in that process, we discover, here's what I say. Perfection is an illusion,
that's
but
true.
excellence is attainable. And in the process of pursuing excellence, we discover the best version of ourselves. Here you are on the other side of it after everything you've been through. You got out of it, and now you're sharing your experiences and changing lives of others.
Yes.
Now, I read something on your page the other day. Somebody gave you a compliment, right? It was pretty. Somebody gave you a really strong compliment about, and you posted it. Share that with us.
Which one are you referring to?
Oh, you got so many of them. I don't know. There's the last one. One of the last ones you just posted about how this lady, you've been working with her for years, and that one.
Oh, the review.
Yeah, the review.
What did you want me to share about that?
Share the experience. Tell people what happened with the lady, what she went through, and how you helped her.
Okay. So there's a lot that's actually happened with her. I've been working with her and her son and her husband for about 3 years. She initially came to me because she had mental health stuff going on, and she wanted to be a better, more present parent. So I started working with her right away to alleviate depression from her, and I can actually remove all the energies that create depression. So it is very possible to be rid of it. So I started working with her on depression, and she had such a great outcome that she said, "Hey, I have a little son. He's 2 years old, and he's been diagnosed with mild autism, and he has what's called torticollis in his neck." And she said, "Do you think you could help with that?" And I had never dealt with torticollis before.
Tell us what that is. I've never heard of it.
So it's like the tightening of the neck muscles. So at that point, they're unable to turn their head completely, and it just affects their spinal alignment and whatnot. And so his neck muscles were so tight that he could hardly turn his head to one side. And so I said, "Well, you know what? I'm going to do my best, and I'm going to try, and I'm going to remove whatever I find that comes up for him, and we'll see what happens." So I did that session, and it corrected immediately. And when he went to his therapist was like blown away and
What?
said, what happened? Like, what did you do?" And she said, "Well, I'm working with an energy healer." And the therapist wasn't really familiar with that, but they said, "Whatever you're doing, keep doing it."
Right.
Because it works great.
Yeah.
So that was the start. And then, her husband had some stuff going on. I helped all three of them, and I continue to still help them actually to this day. I still work with them. She on Etsy, she left me a lot of reviews because I did a lot of sessions on her. And so a lot of people actually based their coming to me off of the beautiful interactions that she would leave feedback on her sessions and the outcome of them. And so I wound up working on a lot of people, primarily based off of the reviews that this beautiful person left for me.
And just to be clear, you have to make this very clear. You don't have to be physically present with that person. You're in Jersey, but this lady was maybe not in Jersey.
Australia. Australia. Yeah.
Of all places. It wasn't even like Connecticut. Like we're across the freaking world. That's great. And you helped her.
And she's become one of my best friends too.
Wow. So
yeah,
I've had Reiki, and I think we talked about this, right?
Yeah.
energy release. What you do is different than Reiki, or is it similar? Is it in the same family?
Um, okay, so what I would say is it's in the same family as far as you're still calibrating their energetic fields. Okay.
Mhm.
Reiki primarily gets into areas of discomfort or, chakra realignment, and just being able to get your energy in their field and playing around with their energetic field and moving the energy that's stuck, that's causing problems, really helps them. Now, the difference is that if you've ever had a massage feels amazing. It's great for like a day or two. You feel loose, you feel great. The issue is if you went there because you're having pain somewhere or discomfort somewhere and they were able to like massage it out,
Mhm.
um, it still comes back, unfortunately. A couple days later, the pain returns. And that's primarily because um, it's being caused by energetic imbalances in the body. So when you get Reiki, it's similar. It's like having an energy massage. You're shifting the energy that's stuck and stagnant, and the person is feeling great and they feel uplifted and everything. However, if there's an underlying root cause that is, presenting with their pain or discomfort, it's going to come back,
Right.
unfortunately. So as beautiful as Reiki is, and it is amazing, I'm not gonna lie, but it doesn't really address the underlying root cause where it started. So the modalities that I do does address the root causes. It goes deeper and it finds everything all the way down to, like I said, the beliefs that are creating a lot of these things for you.
Right. You and I had a pre-conversation to this, and you said I'm gonna be the guinea pig today on the show. You're gonna do some work on me, give people an idea what this looks like. Um, how long do you spend with somebody?
That depends. A lot of times, if I'm doing a heart wall session, the heart has heavy emotions, as you can imagine. It's matters of the heart, and it involves, love and pain and suffering. So if I do a heart wall with somebody, I can't really do more than say around like 30 trapped emotions at one time
Mm,
because it's too heavy, and your body needs time to process that after you've started to remove it. So
right.
if I'm doing a heart wall, I can just start with that and I'll be able to do like 30 trapped emotions within, like less than 30 minutes.
Gotcha.
If I'm working on a more complicated issue, that might take me, and I probably can't do that in person because I need to like really dig in
Yeah.
and I have to like remove a lot. And I'm talking about for myself personally, because I know that some practitioners do not remove a lot at once. But me, the way that I work, I get into, somewhere's around maybe 100 or a little more than 100. Because for me, I would like to get out as much as I can in the time allotted that I've given to a person. So it could take me anywhere from 30 minutes to 2 hours working on
Wow.
someone. Yeah. So it really
Interesting.
depends on the topic.
And what's Lisa's daily practice look like from the time you get up? What are your practices, your non-negotiables? Like, what's your rhythm? What's your format? What are you doing, your daily habits that keep you so grounded and I guess aligned, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, as much as possible.
Yeah.
We all do. Even the best of us still have things that pop up that are unexpected that you deal with. But primarily, there's a couple things that I do on a daily. Number one, I get a lot of rest. I don't
Hmm.
really have a choice because this type of work can drain my own energy personally. So I've learned over years how to, I guess, protect my own energy, and I do energy shields and such like that so that it doesn't make me exhausted.
Right.
But number one, I listen to programming or meditations while I'm sleeping.
Wow.
Yeah, so that right there is very big, and that's a huge tool that I share with all of my clients because I say, it's work that you can do on yourself when you're not even awake and aware.
Right.
It's looking at things that are really bothering you that you need to address and working on them while you're asleep because the subconscious mind is at work
Never
at that
sleep.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically. I mean, your body is at rest, but your subconscious mind is wide awake all of
Right.
the time. So
Right.
it's listening to whatever it's hearing,
Yep.
so listening to things at night and reprogramming is very powerful. So I do that. I also do a meditation when I first wake up because that's when you're the most impressionable. Your
Right.
mind is in a state of uh, alpha, I believe. So you're listening to everything in that moment and you're taking it in, and the subconscious is on board with you, working as a team. So
Yeah.
it's important to do it, right before you go to sleep. And then again, first thing in the morning.
So are you into, I saw something on your page, you put a picture of your gym. You work out, obviously work out with weights,
Yes.
right? Okay,
Yes,
so
I work out as well.
meditation, working out.
Hmm.
What's your diet look like? Your meal plan? The word diet. And what's your meal plan look like? And is it pretty much consistent?
To be honest with you, that's the place where I probably need a little work for myself. I don't eat terribly unhealthy, but I could be eating cleaner.
Mm.
Now, when I do get real clean, I try to limit sugar intake, carb intake, and I'm doing like vegetables, salads, a lot of raw food, like
Mm-hmm.
fruits, nuts, and stuff like that. But I really could be a little better with the food. I think we're all a little guilty of slipping up with that, but I do my best.
Have you seen the Wawa bitches since you left?
Have I seen what?
The Wawa bitches.
Yes, actually. Only one of them, the one that got transferred closer to where I live, even than the one I was at there. I've seen her a few times, and I don't know if she recognizes me or not, but I've wanted to say something to her, but I know better because I'm more of a positive person and I don't want to bring negative. And it's like, I can't be focused on that anymore because I
No.
know that that never leads to any place good for me. And I like feeling good personally. So I just
Yeah.
do my thing and I don't say anything to her.
Where do you see? Would you bump into her like a grow? Where do you be bumped into her at a store? You're saying you've seen her out or at the Wawa? What are you saying? Where have you seen her?
She's at the Wawa by my house.
I got you.
She got transferred. They get
She's a,
transferred a lot, the
she's a vet.
manager.
I got you. Right. And she
Yeah.
doesn't even recognize. She probably have. I have found a lot of times they like, oh, wait a minute, and they have the story isn't like as clear it is for you. It probably is
Yeah.
not as clear for them. And you're right. Where attention goes, energy flows. So we keep
That's
that.
100.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I
So
think that
go ahead.
she basically wouldn't recognize me anyway because I was not her only victim, or I don't
Right.
consider myself to be a victim, but she she did this to a lot of people. It wasn't just me. I just happened to at that time because it was my experience, I took it personal,
Mm-hmm.
and I realize that I did that now, and that it's okay. We're only human, when people are hurting us, it's a very normal experience for us to have, negative feelings about that person or the situation. It's just how long are you going to stay there?
Exactly.
That's the important part.
We have to understand and realize nobody who is not experiencing that much pain, a level of pain within themselves, is going to treat anybody like that. So that's a clear indication how that person is actually feeling about themselves. I wish people would wake up
That's
and
right.
realize that they are just so out of alignment. They're hurting inside. Hurt likes, you said earlier, hurt likes to hurt.
Hurt
You would,
people hurt people.
yeah,
Yeah.
you were not going to find somebody who's completely in alignment, at peace with themselves, fucking with anybody like that. So we have
Right.
that's the first thing you have to understand, is that person doing that You got almost like, here's what I would look at it. It's almost like you see a handicapped person, with a walker fall down on
Mhm.
the sidewalk, and you would go help them pick them up, right? Well,
Yeah,
that's
of
the
course.
handicap of the mind. The handicap mindset is
Yeah.
actually causing that person to feel that way and act that way. So if we can see it, change our perspective, we may have a little less. It may not impact us as much. So
That is so true. And that has been my personal experience. So I can verify what you're saying because now, even if my daughter will come home and say, this person said this or that person did that, and I'll say, well, how are they feeling about themselves? Because in all honesty, what are they going through? They're obviously hurting because trauma affects the way you think, how you act, and how you project yourself to others.
right,
I said, so, instead of looking at them like, oh, you bitch, like, I can't believe you just did that or whatever, like the cattiness that women can have,
yeah,
especially, look at it as saying, like, well, I'll pray for you.
right,
And really mean that, not as a condescending remark,
yeah,
but like, I will pray for you because you obviously need help somewhere. And maybe you don't realize it. Maybe you do. Maybe you're in the process of it, but I'm going to give you some grace here because I know that your trauma is causing you to act like that. And that is not your highest divine godlike self.
yeah. And I put a video up the other day. I was on the gym at the at the gym on the treadmill, and I said, I see on social media all the time people saying some negative comment. That person gets pissed off, responds in a negative way, and what I put up is this. Think about this for a second. If you were that person, at that level of ignorance, you would be acting the exact same way.
Yeah.
So understand, if you were them, you'd feel the exact same way they're feeling right now about you. But here's the
Yeah.
good news. Here's the good news. You're not them. They're at a different level of ignorance. They're at a higher level of ignorance, right? They're at a different level of living. So understand that that's just who they are. And
Yeah.
like you just said, you got to almost send them love and feel bad for them because of how bad they're hurting to have to do some and say some shit like that to somebody else.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And a lot of times, what I'll try to do is gently coach people. I don't mean to be like, I'm not trying to get up in their business or anything, but I'll say, if you looked at it from a different perspective and you tried to see it, for A, B, and C, whatever is they're dealing with, um, you might not feel as negative as you do right now.
Yeah.
And sometimes just saying something like that is enough to like plant a seed and
Hmm.
make people be more self-aware because realistically a lot of that has to do with being self-aware.
Right.
You don't even hear what you're saying, it's just like an autonomic response, you
Yeah.
know
Yeah. 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 You got the head thing going pretty good too. Like you got that head thing going back the fuck up, right?
yeah, yeah.
Anyway,
You're like,
right. There's always another approach. Let's take the higher
yeah,
road.
yeah, yeah.
Exactly. Exactly. So let's say somebody's out there listening to you right now and they just feel stuck. They feel broken. They feel hopeless. They just heard your story. It gave them a spark of inspiration. What's your next step for that person to take?
So a lot of times what I'll do is I'll recommend to them where I started. If you don't have the funding to work on yourself in an energetic way, like seek out an energy healer, such as myself or anybody that you resonate with, I suggest for them to buy the Emotion Code book from Dr. Bradley Nelson. And you can get that right on Amazon. Now, you can't get certified and get paid to work on people, but you can learn how to remove your own trapped emotions. And that is huge. That is where it starts. And you can change your whole life just with Emotion Code. You can also change your child's life or your
Mhm.
spouse's life or your family's life. You can help them move past their trauma. You could remove all the heart walls of everyone that you know.
Wow.
Removing heart walls is huge. And there's a group of people that I'm close with, and I've personally taken the time to remove all of their heart walls, and they cannot believe how much better they feel. they tell me, my God, thank you. It feels like you just removed years of trauma and heaviness right off of my shoulders, and I can't thank you enough.
Oh, wow, that's amazing. And at nighttime, you're listening to who? What is it the same thing over and over or
No, it's not the same thing. It's primarily based on where I'm at and what growth I feel that I need in that time.
Mhm.
So you can listen to not just meditations, but they have healing sound frequencies. They have binaural beats, and just all different healing frequencies that um, they use all different frequencies for different things. It really just depends on what your need is. So if you want to listen to stuff for focus, they have frequencies for that. If you want to
Yeah.
listen to stuff for anxiety or to keep you calm, you can listen to the background while you're at work, something quietly even to keep you focused and in a good place. There's so many different things. What are you dealing with? Do you have heart palpitations? Anything that you can think of, digestive issues. You can actually listen to healing frequencies based on that. You can just go right on YouTube and you can look up healing frequencies for A, B, or C,
Right.
whatever.
Yeah, and I'm very familiar with binaural beats. You
Yes.
if you name it, I've tried it. My issue was I couldn't sleep with what do you put in earbuds in AirPods? What do
Yeah.
you and you can sleep with that going on?
Yeah.
In your ear?
Yeah.
That's good. That's good for you. Yeah, good for you.
You
I sleep
don't
with
have to put them in though. You can listen to it quietly, like on your table next to you or something of that nature as well.
okay. Good to know.
Yeah.
So the other day in one of my meditations, because you and I had a pre-conversation on the phone, and
Yeah.
I have some discomfort in the body, right? And
Okay.
we talked about this, and in one of my meditations the other day, I said I just closed my eyes in the meditation, and after our conversation, I said, let's say Lisa had done some energy work on me.
Yeah.
How would that feel? And I'm going through this process in my
That's
meditation. I'm thinking
awesome.
this. Yeah, I'm thinking it. And just by thinking that, visualizing that, and speaking that,
Hmm.
I did get some relief. But we have a few minutes here. If you can do it, you want to do a little condensed version of something? You want me to tell you what's
Uh,
going on?
yeah, go ahead. That's fine. Sorry, I'm just
Okay.
pulling out my emotion code chart.
Okay. Yeah. So so let's kind of walk through the process. Do you want me to share with you what I'm feeling?
Yeah, so I'm not an intuitive energy
Right.
healer.
That's what you
Like
said. Yeah.
I'm not guessing
Right.
what's going on with a person or asking my guides what's happening with them. I'm asking them what's going on with you because I'm going to attack that right there.
Okay.
So,
So I can
you're
share that
having
with you.
discomfort where?
Okay. So my back, my right side, if this is my spine,
Uh-huh.
the right side would be, let's say this is my spine,
Yeah.
the right side outside of my spine,
Mhm.
then the right side of my neck, and then I feel some popping and cracking in my shoulders. That's what I deal with on a daily basis.
Okay. Now, do you have a previous injury that caused that, or is this just like over time?
I think it might be over time. Working
Okay,
out.
so
I
that
think the
sounds
stress
like energetic to me.
yeah, the stress I went through those 5 years of suicidal depression, I'm sure didn't help.
Right, right. And so where do you hold your stress? Does that seem to be in your back as well?
I would say, I guess my neck comes and goes. Like right now, it's decent, but there's times it's just
Yeah.
like it's not even a pain. It's a very weird discomfort. Like I can't even explain. I've seen so many doctors, neurologists, chiropractors, MDs, all these people, and they're like, yeah, we don't know.
Yeah,
Nobody
that's
knows.
energy. That's
That's,
energy.
so it's yeah.
Definitely.
I would say the middle of the back and the right hand side, and then my neck and then my shoulders.
Okay. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to just tap into your subconscious mind with your permission.
Yeah, sure.
And I'm just going to, usually I write everything down and I give a full report of everything that I found and released, but I don't actually have um, I don't have anything here in front of me to do it. So I'm just going to release and you can just maybe write them down if you want to, the different
Okay,
ones.
I'll put them on my notes. I have my
Mhm.
notes right here, my
Yeah,
computer. Okay.
perfect. All
All right.
right. So I'm going to just
So
take a minute and I'm
I
going
can
to.
write, I can type while you do it, work on me. It's okay.
Yeah, yeah, you could do
Okay.
anything you want. As a matter of fact, Anybody can do whatever they want. Primarily, I do a lot of email sessions, so I'll work on them and they can do anything they want. I just ask them to stay hydrated, drink lots of water,
Yeah.
and make sure to get decent rest at night because the body heals while it's at rest.
Okay. Cool.
All right.
Yeah.
So what is your last name, Brett?
Coleman, Coleman, like the camping stoves.
Right. Okay. So I'm going to do this on camera so people can see what I'm doing. I'm connecting via muscle testing to you. Okay. So there's a lot of different ways to muscle test, but I use the ring and ring method, which is like this. Okay. So when this locks, that's a yes. When it breaks, that's a no. Okay. And this does take time to get used to, but you do it. So right now I'm going to say your name, Brett Coleman, until my fingers lost. I am Brett Coleman. Okay, my fingers have locked, and now I'm just gonna close my eyes down for a minute and talk to my spiritual team and as well as your spiritual team and have them join together and just say, please come together, our two spiritual teams, and allow you to have the best outcome of this session as you possibly can. Allow you to heal gently and easily with no side effects. And we'll continue from there. Amen. Okay, so I am going to look on, I have, if you want to follow along, I'll give you a second to look up right online, look up the emotion code chart.
Okay. Emotion code chart. Okay, there's only Bradley Nelson.
What's up?
Bradley Nelson.
Yes.
Okay.
So
I see it.
you're looking at column A, column B, rows 1 through 6, right?
Yep.
Okay, perfect. So that's how we're going to start. So I'm going to ask your higher self or your subconscious mind, what is causing this neck pain and this back pain for you energetically? What can we remove? Column A, it's in column B, 1, 3, or 5, B2, B4. Frustration is the first one that comes up. So that's released. And I'm not going to say everything that I'm doing because I gave you the example at first.
Sure.
And otherwise, it's going to distract me.
I know. Do your thing.
Worthlessness is the next one. 1, 2, 3. That's released. Bitterness. Released. Creative insecurity, which is a block to creation from things that you are creating in your own mind. Okay. So good to get rid of that one.
Right.
Yeah. Bitterness. Released. Defensiveness. Released. Discouragement. Released. Unsupported. Released. Blaming. Released. Unsupported. Released. Anxiety. Released. Anger. Released. Defensiveness. Released. overwhelm, released. Conflict, released. 17 so far.
I think so. It's close. I'm
Okay.
trying to count and read at the same time. I'm on this list you gave me here, the emotion code chart, right?
Yeah, unsupported, also released.
Okay.
So let me give you a real quick update. When you have multiple of the same trapped emotion, which is probably going to be your next question, you have to go back to like attracts like. Law of attraction runs the world.
Right.
And so once you trap that emotion, which has its own frequency, you're going to attract more of that. So when you have the same one over and over again, that's why it's already in your body. So it's very easy for you to feel that again. It's going to come up and come up and come up over and over again in multiple situations that you encounter that are, traumatizing.
Right. Interesting.
Yeah. So people have a lot of the same ones and they're like, why is this so much?
Yeah.
Why do I have that so much? Well, because you've dealt with that a lot. Have you felt that a lot? Well, yeah, that's why.
Right.
Taken for granted, released from you. And these can be from any time in your life. Like I said, anytime, even as a baby, a child, whatever, you just never know where they're going to land in the body.
Right.
Where they're going to distort your cells and tissues and whatnot. Creative insecurity, released. You're going to have some great ideas after this. I'm going to do 3 more and we'll call it a day.
Okay, for sure. You're good. Good.
If you're interested in furthering it, we can take that,
Yeah.
After we're done recording, I can work on you some more if you'd like.
Yeah, cool.
Conflict, released. This is good. Getting rid of all of these is so good. Taken for granted. And we're going to do one last one here.
Okay.
Ooh, fear. Release. That's a big one.
Okay. Good.
Okay, so do you feel I don't know if you were, on a scale of 1 to 10, where would you say you were before we even started?
Today specifically, I'd say about a 5 or 6. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And sitting in one place like that tends to trigger the discomfort.
Right. So if you move around a little bit, do you feel a shift at all?
Yeah, I think if I was a 6, I'm feeling like a 3 or 4.
That's excellent. That's really good. And usually with pain or discomfort, you can decrease it very quickly by removing the energies that are causing it. Now, I hate to say it, but with the times being the way they are, with the spiritual awakening and like energies like really, amping up recently, people are releasing a lot more. When I first started, I could probably with 30 trapped emotions being released, I could almost conquer an entire issue, especially when it comes to pain. But like I said, with everything being amped up and, our higher selves expecting more of us in growth terms, people are releasing a lot more.
That's great.
And I think that's, for their growth. Right. Their higher selves is expecting, if they said yes to something like this, they're like, let's go. I'm ready to go. They're like your coach.
Yeah.
They're like your personal trainer. Like, you're not stopping here. Let's go.
Exactly.
There's a lot more to be dealt with.
That's right. You're on standby. You're on another go-to, right?
Yeah.
All right, for sure. Well, that's great. I really appreciate your time. You're awesome. People have to get thank you. People not only have to get to your page, they have to reach out to you, because really what you're doing is you're changing people's lives, and that's what this is all about. Yeah. So as we wrap this up, what's your be fucking bold move? What's your bold move that got you to where you're at? Like if your definition of bold that you've actually applied to your life would be what? What's your bold move? Your bold moment?
Never, ever, ever give up. Ever. Never give up. Like always try. Always put in the effort. You are worth it.
Right.
That's what I would answer that.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And tell people one more time where they can find you.
You can find me on TikTok. You can find me on Facebook or my booking page. And that's pretty much it right now.
And the handle again?
The Complete Healing Transformation on Facebook and the Complete Healing Angel on TikTok.
There you go. You're the best. I appreciate you coming on today.
I appreciate you having me. It's been really a pleasure. Thank you so much,
Okay,
Brad.
for sure. We'll have to do it again sometime. We have to drop in and give some props and some daily tips and some hints. And
Yeah,
some
for sure.
Good quality advice. We appreciate you.
Yes, thank you so much. I really loved being here.
Thank you. Likewise. Have a good one now.
Yeah, you too. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.